Radio Free Skaro!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Radio Free Skaro, episode number 957. I am Stephen in Edmonton.
Warren in Victoria.
And Chris in Edmonton.
Chris is back. Warren likes to keep us...
Baffled by my locations.
I think by the time this episode, because we're recording this, Saturday mornings, by the way, are our usual recording these days. And Warren, I think you're actually going to be back in Vancouver by the time this episode comes out.
Slightly afterwards.
Okay, so
anybody's tracking my movements and wants to assassinate
I was going to say,
me.
flight trackers, be warned that
I will be suing you.
I assume you are taking the flight, not the ferry. I've taken the ferry.
I'm taking Harbour Air. There's no way I'm taking the ferry.
Harbour Air.
Harbour Air goes from, not to give more clues as to where I live, but from downtown Victoria to downtown Vancouver. So as opposed to going out to the middle of nowhere, taking a ferry, then going out to another middle of nowhere and coming into downtown Victoria, which seems like a real pain in the butt.
Right. I have to be honest with you. I didn't know that Vancouver had two airports.
It's not an airport. It's literally just like a little area with seaplanes, like little pontoony planes. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I probably would have seen it in the opening titles of Beachcombers or something. Like that.
You almost certainly would have seen it in Danger Bay.
Danger Bay would have seen it there. Little kid. There you go. There's a Canadian content. Tick that off there. Tick that off there for Canadian content. Chris, you're back. You're in London, England.
I'm just here to say Happy Magna Carta Day.
Happy
good luck with that.
Happy Magna Carta Day. It is today, April the 20th as we record this. Not at all the official holiday of cannabis smokers or intake. I don't know. Does one take gummies on 420? Is that still is that in the spirit?
Sure. I would assume so. I did see
the spirit of the holiday. I don't know.
Stephen, we're in Canada. You can do that every day if you want.
Exactly.
Damn right we can.
I saw a great skeet that said Taco Bell managers at 4:15 p.m. and it's a picture of George C. Scott and Patton in front of the American flag, ready and reporting for duty.
Yeah.
Yes, I am back.
Yeah, how was your trip apart from going to see the actual Magna Carta document,
which you legit did?
I did. Yeah.
Just expressly
just
to educate. No, to educate us all because you didn't correct me. So
that's because I didn't know better.
I will further correct you when I go to England.
Yeah. We'll have to
so if you want to pinpoint that location to slit my throat, people.
Very, very, very good trip. Saw a few concerts which were fantastic, and saw a whole bunch of people that I never get to see except over there. So. So that was the best part. So,
well, it's delightful. We missed you. Well, I mean, I think you were still sending us notes. It kind of felt like 2006 RFS, where before you joined and you were like sending feedback. Here's what you got wrong.
As the polite way to put it. Yeah. Admonishments. Can't believe you missed. Fill in the blank.
To a point. I mean, I unplugged from the world as best I could, but you can't completely do that.
No, you can't. But that's right, because you don't want to unplug from the world because a whole bunch of stuff is happening. Well, obviously a whole bunch of Doctor Who stuff. The final part of our Terror of the Autons commentary, yes, I know that, is also happening later on in this episode. But just yesterday as we record this, Gallifrey 1 2025 tickets went on sale, now available at a sliding scale. So if you get them now, through June 30th, they're $125, and then they increase by $5 every 3 months or so, basically. So if you pay now, you get cheaper, and also you get to tell the convention, hey, I'm in, and here's how much money you have to book guests and stuff. So it pays in many ways to book earlier.
We all got ours yesterday. Kat got hers yesterday.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know if you and Erica buy as a duo or separately, but
well, you can buy. I paid for the transaction, and she will pay me back. This is her audible reminder to pay me back. when she listens to this.
If she knows what's good for her.
Yeah, and it's easy to add like a second person, and both people will get emails. That's a great thing. It won't just be the person who bought it. If you enter them at their email, they'll get it. So
there's a different back end for the ticket purchases this year. So there's some niceties that go along with that. Some growing pains, but some niceties as well.
Indeed. Yeah, Gatwa for one. It always catches me off guard every time because it feels like really early when the tickets go on sale. Usually weeks or months before they even announce the first guest, which is fine.
Well, we're barely 2 months out of this year's galley, so
yeah.
And then as the graphic shown on YouTube for those who partake on YouTube said, the hotel bookings go live on May 3rd. That's a Friday, 2 weeks 2 weeks from yesterday.
Yeah, noon Pacific time.
Noon Pacific. More details forthcoming, so we should have those next week. Probably things like cost and whatever, but yeah.
Always a fun time.
That's the far more stressful one. And I'm going to be in the air on the way to Edmonton, so that's great.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Warren's coming to Edmonton to expressly not be on Radio Free Skaro.
I'm not going to have time.
I've
got family stuff to do. So
yeah, we'll have someone else on the show a couple weeks hence. But so that'll be a fraught weekend. Plus, that's around the same time that for what I'd like to believe, the press launch will begin in earnest in North America. Although I tell you what, it's been pretty cool because. Someone on Twitter, Joe Cook on Twitter, actually grabbed a photo. We heard that this was happening in New York City. It's in New York. It's a place so nice. They named it twice.
New York City.
In Times Square, they posted a video of the billboard of Doctor Who Disney Plus billboard in Times Square with some images and then a bit of the trailer sort of scrolling past and Disney Plus streaming May 10th on it. So that's pretty cool actually.
That first little bit looks like Ncuti Gatwa should be in Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
It does a little bit, doesn't it?
Oh, because the thing is a wavy looking kind of billboard.
Well, it looks like he's in a fisherman's outfit.
Which we have seen that outfit before, so.
We've seen a lot of outfits, I think, is what
especially this week. We got 3 new ones with the or however many plus other just fashion stuff with Ncuti.
Yeah, there are a couple of big articles in Entertainment Weekly for one, which we'll start with, which had like a full photo shoot. It had a video of Ncuti Gatwa wearing what was confirmed in the article, a season 2 outfit where he's got like sort of a tartan zip up top and a kilt with pants and boots and stuff, and walking around this this clock set. Where I think the hands
as the little hand,
as one of the little hands, he's using the sonic
windows are the wrong size, by the way.
They are. You know what? Now look at that thing. Yeah, it kind of is. But they built that. They built the set. They actually built the set. I think they might have used CG to spin it around and stuff like that. But that is an actual photo shoot set that they built.
I can't see Peter Capaldi in this photo shoot. Much as he could cut a mean figure, it's not the same.
He does. He had his own photo shoots and stuff, though, at least.
But I mean, it wouldn't be him being very, very fashionable. It would just be him being stern.
I don't know if it was there when you went, Stephen, but on said recent trip to the UK, we did a side trip to Aldbourne, aka Devil's End.
Oh, we went. Me and Andrew Smith.
Andrew took us as well, and. We met Paul Cornell and his wife for lunch. It was a lovely day, but there's at the other pub that isn't the Cloven Hoof, aka the Blue Boar, near there's a little TARDIS trash bin.
It was there.
Was it there? Yeah.
Yeah, I was there when we went in 2017. 2017.
I won't be seeing any of this. I'm traveling with my sister who couldn't care less about any of this stuff. So we got 3 days in England before we go to Scotland. So no.
Oh, I think Aldbourne, if you're going to go to England as someone from North America, I think you have to make the trip. And plus, it's through, Andrew took us through Black Park on the way there. Where
you did both in one day?
Full circle, on the way there. Day. And he hadn't been back to Black Park, I think, since, like a long time.
Don't get me wrong, it's lovely. I'm not going to have time.
Yeah.
And one person has no inclination. So
one great thing about Andrew is being the nerd that the nerd that he is. Both when we went to Black Park, aka Alzarius, with him last year before, whatever it was, and also to Aldbourne, he loaded up Full Circle and the Demons on his phone. So as we're walking around, he's like, okay, so we'll compare the shot from the show and figure out where the camera was located and where the actors were and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. It takes location stuff to another level.
It does. It's recommended, honestly. If Andrew's looking for maybe a bit of a cottage industry, maybe a Black Park location tours for Full Circle would be up there.
He's pretty much hit the two guys willing to pay for that, and you didn't.
I suppose so. And I don't even think we paid him for gas, so it's a money losing business proposition.
Yeah, so maybe you shouldn't do that.
We went to a dinner at a play that night as well, so I made sure to spring for the play for him to thank him.
Oh, nice. Plays, eh?
It was Full Circle in play form.
Broadway.
I can't escape the stupid thing.
Yeah.
It was a play featuring Johnny Lee Miller of Elementary fame.
As Adric.
Of Kinda fame. I think we've determined this. It's Kinda.
Yes,
he was in Kinda.
Right. He was.
And apparently went on to other stuff after being 8 years old in Kinda. Which also featured Mary Morris, who will be mentioned later on in this podcast. Yep, there's your teaser right there, folks.
Is that Terror of the Autons thing?
No, it's not, Chris. It's a teaser for you. Don't try to guess. Don't try to guess the punchline of the joke before I'm done telling it. You'll find out later on.
That makes it funnier. Then he explains it afterwards. It makes it even funnier still.
That's true.
Yeah, I can't miss the explanation.
Mm-hmm. Can't miss the explanation.
Anyway, we're talking about Entertainment Weekly and stuff. Yes.
Yeah, we are, and just promotion in general. I mean, the BBC and Disney Plus released a couple of different photos. There's the new sort of promo
They're
image.
not different.
They're slightly different in that one of them has Disney Plus on it, and the other does not. They both say BBC Presents on them, but oddly enough, the widescreen one is the BBC, and I imagine they're interchangeable. But I don't recall actually having seen the different formatted ones for the BBC and Disney respectively. But
what could it mean?
One thing that I noticed. So for the links in the show notes, the links are to X / Twitter. The one from Disney Plus is the image. The one from the BBC is the image with alt text that Disney has seen fit not to provide.
Well, Disney hates disabled people, as we know.
That's true. On Twitter. Oh, on Twitter, you mean? Okay.
On the actual Twitter post.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that here. Yeah, Disney does hate disabled people. That's correct, Warren. You heard it here first. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But no, there's a big thing in Entertainment Weekly with which had a lovely loading screen of Ncuti Gatwa dancing.
Which, just to let people know, before we started, Stephen had this with our background theme music, so he was jiving along to the theme from Quiller, I believe.
There it is. I posted a video of this to Twitter with him dancing along to Doctor and the TARDIS. It got a few hundred likes over the past couple of days, so that was kind of cool. But
you should also do another version with Doctor in Distress as the back.
I did. That was literally the first one I did, and I thought
that's why you changed it, because
this is too obvious, and I don't want to do that. So
it's why defame the poor guy.
I know.
Staple him to such a terrible bit of music.
Have you done one with John Pertwee's "I Am the Doctor"?
No, somebody else did though, and good. Rob Ritchie quote tweeted mine with the Kef McCullough Latin version, aka the Fluid Links theme. So they've all been done. Everyone, you can stand down now. The joke has passed. I'm trying to think of other joke recall. I mean, I feel our Radio Free Skaro theme is probably a little too up tempo for what he was grooving to there, but you never know. You could.
It did work with Quiller. That's for sure.
It did work with Quiller, the Quiller theme, but that's also a slower, funkier 1970s jam, as opposed to the weird game show generation game feel that the RFS theme is. But yeah, it was interesting. Chris, I think you read the Entertainment Weekly one, didn't you?
I did. It was a great article.
I also skimmed it earlier.
Yeah. I was sitting in the Calgary airport, coming back, reading the article. It is a very, very good in-depth article. It's fantastic. Lots of great photos of some of the new outfits and all that kind of stuff as well. And
my condolences on the Calgary airport, by the way.
Yeah, very sorry about that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's I forget what part of it. There's a little bit that I like texted to you guys that I found quite interesting, and I've already forgotten what the heck that is.
That's good.
But
that's good stuff.
The logical part of my brain is like, why is he wearing pants when he's got a skirt?
He does.
One or the other.
Well, because he's a fashion icon,
yes,
Warren,
of course,
and you are
yes.
not.
That's certainly true, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the math part of my brain, which is very small, could not grasp it.
Yeah, I know. They also had some some stills of the Beatles up. They're really pushing the Beatles episode a lot. Although I think one of them was from Space Babies. I think with Ncuti Gatwa sort of with this,
I mean, it is the premiere,
like
part of it anyway, so you could see why.
That's true. Yeah, and like keeping up with my slight mea culpa last week with the drum set and everything like that. Like I feel like I assumed that this episode took place like in the later 60s, but as I look more and more at it, I feel like maybe it is early 60s, which now I'm moving away from the drum set inaccuracy because I think he got rid of the premiere kit by the time they actually recorded, but I could be wrong about that. But the haircuts they didn't have the Beatle haircuts, the mop tops as they were called, until
I gotta counter that with who cares?
65. Well, I care, Warren.
I know you do. I'm not sure why, but you do.
Yeah, that's what I care about. So, but yeah, it was a good article in there. That's free to read online. SFX is not free, but it's good to pay for magazines and stuff that have interesting things in them. They had a big Doctor Who spread, like 20 odd pages worth of Doctor Who stuff in the most recent SFX, including the very first line was an interview. They interviewed RTD, Ncuti Gatwa, Millie Gibson, and it says, first of all, can we please put the tabloid rumors about Millie to bed? RTD says, not leaving, not at all. And here's the interesting bit. We were ordered for 2 years of a series off Disney, and we're delivering 2 years. And the Ruby Sunday story literally spans those 2 years. So I find that intriguing, and that is this perhaps why they made 2 seasons back to back, because
yeah, probably. That would make sense.
They had the Disney money there, and therefore we need to spend it right now and make the 2 seasons.
Well, it's just like when you have a budget for a corporation and you have to spend the money you've got left over, otherwise you don't get that extra money
next quarter.
It's probably the same rationale completely.
Yeah, it could be it. Also in that they interviewed the 2 directors, I think Julie Ann Robinson and Ben Chessel as well, about directing Doctor Who, and the makeup artist as well is in there. But also Ncuti in that one says that he sort of like joke with mock anger, sort of says, if I don't face a Dalek by the time I'm done Doctor Who, then what is this all for?
Yeah,
anyway, essentially.
Which means they're not in season 2 either.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
Well, yeah, he could be fooling.
He's being playful, but he also, he's like, I want Daleks and dancing.
Yeah,
basically his two hopes or mandates.
Well, he's going to get dancing. I mean, that's a given. So.
Yeah, well, it was his because he of course participated in the Oscar dancing with during Ryan Gosling's performance of I'm Just Ken at the Oscars, and he thought, that was fun. Dancing numbers are fun. I think, okay,
that was the only thing I paid attention with that number. It's like, where is he? There he is.
I know. Right. I spotted him. There he is, right there. That's him, right there. There he is again. Yeah, it's pretty great.
And then you can compare it to the original version. The Diamonds are a Girl's Best Friend or whatever. For the stage.
That's true, and/or Madonna's Material Girl video, which I'm going to tell you, as a song, is a banger. It's still a good one.
It's still a pretty good song.
It's still a great song. Great drums in that one. I don't know what kind of drum set they were playing, but it has good drums.
Just to give up a joke on an upcoming Is It Camp, they're talking about D&D HAT, and Sam refers to a withered arm, much like Madonna's, which I thought was quite funny.
Wow. Sorry for Madonna. But yeah, anyway, SFX Magazine, big preview, EW, nice interview. Attitude Magazine.
That's an outfit. I want to see this in the series.
Yeah, the best-selling gay magazine, 30 Years of Attitude. Ncuti Gatwa is the cover of this, with some very great outfits in that, actually, too. Links in the show notes if you want to see all those.
Is Attitude North American or British?
Probably British.
I want to say British.
Yeah, because Out would be the big deal magazine here, wouldn't it? I think.
Given that Chris Bryant MP is on there,
and then a whole bunch of well, it could be the British edition though. We don't know.
Graham Norton, I feel like, might not quite sell the number of copies of a magazine in the U.S. as he would in the UK.
I mean, 3 very unqualified people to find this out, honestly.
That's true. Not quite the magazine readers as such, but yeah. So it's all out there, and it's gonna ramp up, folks. Like our commentary wraps up today for Terror of the Autons, but the next 2 weeks are basically
hype train
left open to cover all the hype and stuff that's gonna come. There might be there might be even more trailers. There might be more images. It's we're awash in them. Remember the olden days of 2018 when we get one trailer and then nothing.
Complained about it? Yeah, I remember that.
Well, now we got it.
This attitude piece, the link that is in the show notes. There's one that you might be interested in, Warren. By interested in, I mean hate. An interview with
Open there, but okay.
An interview with OpenAI's Sam Altman.
Oh, you would? You're right. I would hate that.
They speak to the CEO of ChatGPT creator OpenAI and ask him ChatGPT generated questions.
How about the first one? Why?
Well,
why are you doing this? Why are you wasting our time?
Well, you're going to ask the AI guy AI questions. That's called a taste of their own medicine, technically. So
true. And then they're going to say, in future, it'll be amazing. But what about now? But in future, it'll be amazing.
I think it's very clever. Obvious, but clever.
We'll see.
Did we talk about that other video?
What other video?
The Entertainment Weekly one where the Ncuti talks about all the past doctors.
Oh no, we didn't yet. He basically runs down the history of Doctor Who in 10 minutes, and he, he's sort of like presenting to a camera and stuff. I love how much he loves John Pertwee, my baby, or whatever he calls. I can't remember how he exclaims at the top of his lungs.
I gotta think 70s fashions must be a draw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he does come off as a stuffy Tory. Let's be honest. Also, the minute you said he explains Doctor Who, I just had an image of myself taking my Doctor Who celebration. Well, I won't be needing this. Throwing it to one side.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Links to the show notes to that too. But I don't know when they cover. I don't know when they shot this. For what it's not that we do spoiler set reports on this show very often, but I will tell you enough that I don't think Ncuti Gatwa has been there the past couple days, perhaps because of all this. And B, Millie Gibson has. So just to further shoot down all those Millie Gibson is leaving rumors, she's still on the show and still doing press, obviously. So,
but how can you have disingenuous YouTube videos that go on for 3 hours if you don't say Millie Gibson's leaving? Come on, Steve.
I know.
Get it together,
It's so weird. It's so weird.
That's because you just have to say that you're racist if you don't like her Doctor Who.
That's true.
That's how you get the YouTube views.
I never want to get YouTube views, except for this.
Just think kind of counterproductive.
Yeah.
Just a reminder to smash that like button.
Oh, God, please don't.
Subscribe to us, support us on Patreon.
And here's some product I'd never use that I love because I'm an influencer somehow.
Well, we don't do that, hopefully, unless
Warren,
a timed ad has crashed in, perhaps at this point, for which we apologize. But
how is your Casper mattress, Warren?
It's as good as I like to drink my Bud Light on it, just to
Chris.
And before you think I'm being anti anything, just look at this T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Casper mattresses are so 2015. They haven't advertised.
Are they?
On. Yeah.
Some Canadian podcasts. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know why we're talking about
this. It's only because we haven't built our website with Squarespace.
That's true.
Or also, Wix, which is garbage. But anyway.
2019. But yeah. Apologies for any inserted ads if you've heard any on your podcast catcher. I don't know what's been going on with that. But hey, let's talk about Disney Plus again a little bit. This is I mentioned this just because it's intriguing timing, because Russell T Davies in the SFX article and elsewhere sort of said the whole spur of writing The Devil's Chord is like, we could do an episode about the Beatles but not play any music, and that's the whole point of it. We don't have the rights to it. It would be so expensive to do it, right? And so I feel like, just based on what that is, Jinx Monsoon, aka Maestro, will come back in time and zap the Beatles out of existence or something. And it's up to Doctor Who to bring the Beatles back or something like that. Curiously, now, of course, Get Back, Peter Jackson's sort of retelling and remastering of the Let It Be sessions from 1969, premiered to great acclaim on Disney Plus on over 3 nights in Thanksgiving of 2021, 2022? Can't remember which one it was.
Somewhere around there. It was
21.
It was mid-pandemic, as I recall, because we're all like, 8 hours of Beatles? Sure, I got time.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Love it to bits. And everyone wondered, What about the original Let It Be film from 1970?
Which was unavailable for quite some time, right?
It came out on VHS in 1982 and was never seen again.
I remember seeing it on PBS quite a few times as a kid, but that was 40-odd years ago, right? So
exactly. Well, here's the curious timing. On May 8th, 2 days before Doctor Who and indeed The Devil's Chord premieres...
I doubt it's related.
Let It Be is the remastered, restored 1970 film directed by Michael Lindsay Hogg is going to be on Disney Plus. So oddly enough, we'll actually get more Beatles on Disney Plus right before we expressly cannot have Beatles.
Was it shot
on Disney
in
Plus.
35 mil or 16?
No, 16 mil. 16
okay,
mil.
so it'll be, and they'll probably upscale it to 4K, but it would be 2K to begin with, the masters, like the original film. If they're remastering it.
Let It or Get Back was all on 16 mil.
Right. It looked great anyway, so it didn't matter.
It looked pretty good. They even lament during Get Back that Paul McCartney's saying, 16 mil. We could be shooting this on 35, but yeah.
This strikes me as more a thing they've been negotiating this whole time than which just happened to come out 2 days ahead of The Devil's Chord than anything timed.
Right. Well, it seems odd to me. That's all, Warren. That's all I'm saying.
Well, correlation is not causation, as Chris is very fond of saying.
Oh, it's true.
It's a good statement.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Chris. His correlation isn't causation.
Well, I
could be wrong. Maybe this is a grand scheme to promote Doctor Who,
I like
but
to see patterns in things that aren't there, Warren.
Yes, I know you do.
To say, and that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I can't believe we're waiting this long to talk about this.
The lead has been skipped.
But the Doctor Who Ruins of Skaro collector action dolly set.
Oh yes, look at the glorious. Did we ever think there would be a time when we have Movellan action dollies, and yet here we are. It's good to be alive in the year 2024.
It's they are quite amazing. Warren, you pointed out right before recording that the packaging actually has the interior screen of the Movellans spaceship there, and which famously Pip Madeley on Twitter had one of the Movellans watching.
So now I can do my own dolly version.
You could do, or Pip can do them. You could hat tip to Pip Madeley.
Well, I would give credit, obviously, if I did, but
that's true. 2 Movellans and a Dalek with bombs on it.
Just a lovely touch.
I think it's there's no Peter Straker or Tony Asoba Movellans from what I can tell.
Who are key Movellans, let's be honest here. But
very
this is
key.
Very much picking nits when Movellan action dollies exist.
And you, Warren, you need to order these.
I haven't yet, but I will. I've had a very busy week, but I am definitely intending to order them. But Chris told me you could go, when I am in England, I could go to the suburbs and get them, but I'm like, no, I just rather order them. I'll pay extra. I don't care.
Just order them. Yeah. It's you don't want to have to
not
cram
that you are
that
being
into
helpful, Chris.
Yeah. Warren is commending you, Chris. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. It happens all the time. I'm used to it.
It does. Anyway, they're available order now. You can get them right now. So do not delay.
And unlike Joe Martin, I don't think they've sold out like crazy, and the website hasn't crashed, probably because of the Joe Martin debacles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Joe Martin stuff might be a little more popular.
I got it. I scored it, so I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I ordered it too, and the TARDIS, so that arrived nice and safely. Action Dolly adjacent news for Doctor Who, but I don't remember when this was, Warren, but you and I were all over it.
I've got Prisoner, same as you.
The Prisoner Kickstarter for Action Dolly with a number 6 Action Dolly, which we both have. The same people put out. Started the Kickstarter for Wandering Planet Toys, started the Kickstarter for Action Figures Wave 2, which is a whole bevy of them.
Oh, yeah. Tons of fan favorites.
They funded in less than a day. So, but they're out there. They're great. There's there's Mary Morris. There's your reference from Dance of the Dead. Her number 2 is there. Leo McKern is there.
Very tempted by McKern.
The Butler, Angela Muscat's there. I think I see Darren Nesbitt's.
Which guy is the top hat gas dispenser guy?
That's number 6 from. Or is it just the top hat guy? Maybe.
I think it's one of the top hat guys.
I think it's number 6 in disguise. There's also number 6 from Chimes of Big Ben. So as I'm looking at this now, the image which you can see on our YouTube page, I see Peter Wingard, who of course was Timonov in Planet of the Dead. I see Mark Eden and Darren Nesbitt, both of whom were in Marco Polo and were also in that same episode of
Tagana
It's Your Funeral. Yeah, Tagana was Darren Nesbitt, yeah. So there are some Doctor Who adjacent stuff here if you really want to, weave your
I'm a McKern stan myself, but
yeah.
And then you can do what the hell is the name of the courtroom thing that he did? He's much more famous for.
You mean
Rumpole
Fallout?
the Bailey.
Rumpole the Bailey.
You actually have a Rumpole dolly too if you put a robe over him.
That's true, actually. Yeah, and you could put Angelo Muscat inside of a Chumbly because he played a Chumbly in Galaxy 4. So
there you go. And I have a Chumbly actually. So a 3D
now you have the guy who played
Chumbly.
him. Yeah, now you have a guy who played him. So look at that. Angelo Muscat is right there. So yeah, that's way cool. So well done, Wandering Planet Toys for blowing past your fundraising goal in
and further pandering to idiots like ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, this is cool. BBC Books is publishing 3 original Doctor Who novels featuring Ncuti Gatwa's 15th Doctor, starting in June. As Chris hacks up a lung, I say this just so I don't have to edit it out. It's not editing. Ruby Red is the first one by Georgia Cook. Una McCormack has written Cage. That comes out in late June, and then in November sees Eden Rebellion by Abby Falas. So 3 different original books coming out from BBC Books.
I like that ghoulish character on Eden Rebellion's cover there.
Scary.
Yeah.
Very scary looking characters.
And speaking of action dollies, one of the things I miss from Twitter is seeing Uma McCormack's Garrick dolly and a glass of wine. She would often, from Chateau Picard, she would often put that up with Avo Santé.
I know.
It was just a nice mix of dolly wine and just a faux sophistication that she excelled at. Or excels at. She might still be doing it for all I know.
Yeah, she's on Mastodon as well still and everything. And she's a big Tolkien scholar. We were talking about this just last night.
And a great author.
Yeah, and I made a joke about, but I've been mansplaining the Lord of the Rings to her for years. But
great, well done.
Haven't done that at all. That'd be rude and dumb. Big finish news. Hey, so you remember David Bradley, of course, and the cast of An Adventure in Space and Time.
I thought he wasn't going to do this anymore.
That's a lie, Warren. It's a lie because they're back, except they're in Doctor Who Unbound. The first Doctor, Unbound, begins 2025. They're basically kind of like alt-universe.
They've done Unbound before. That's where David Warner was the Doctor for some of those.
Annabelle Weir, others, Derek Jacobi maybe, but I'm not even sure.
Possibly, I don't remember.
Yeah. I said Annabella Weir, Arabella Weir. So now this is kind of like, they sort of mentioned like the Peter Cushing movies and the Dalek. It's that kind of feel to it.
Well, maybe this gives him a way to keep doing what he wants to, and then the other guy they hired, whose name escapes me at the moment, can just do the more standard and more often versions of the Doctor.
Stephen Noonan.
Yeah. Stephen Noonan. I always say Jonathan Crowley when I know that he does Young John Hurt. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that starts September of 2025. So there you go. And one last thing from the news, our friends at the Game of Rassilon podcast, where they play the Cubicle 7 Doctor Who game, are releasing their final episode of this whole shebang. They'll be doing something else later on after this, but the Doctor Who thing, the Game of Rassilon, is wrapping up on April 24th. Go to gameofrassilon.com. Links to the show notes. You can listen to all the previous episodes before if you haven't, but they've been going on this for years, Warren. You would know better than I.
I cut some of it together. Not this, but I saw some of their season. Also, they have a new thing that is not Doctor Who, I think, related. So keep watching the skis for that.
Ooh. Wow. And that's our news. That is it, folks. After the break, it is time for part 4 of our classic series commentary for Terror of the Autons.
Are the microphones wired in?
All round the condenser, most merciful. We're looking forward to excellent duodecaphonic sound.
This is the moment when I get a real feeling of job satisfaction.
Welcome back. It's the final episode of Terror of the Autons, our commentary, our classic series commentary here on Radio Free Skaro. Glad that you are joining us for this. Hope you've got your legally purchased Blu-rays and or DVDs all ready to go, because we are about to watch episode 4 of Terror of the Zygons in 3...
Autons.
I did it! I knew it! Oh, the very end.
We were all thinking it.
Yep. Terror of the Autons in 3, 2, 1, play. Zygons. I don't think I've ever done. Maybe I just because I've never said the words "Terror of the Autons" very much out loud.
I really liked the Auton inversion, which is just plastic people inside out.
Exactly. Yeah,
Even more gross.
They just want to be real mannequins. I mean, is that too much to ask? I remember seeing clips of Yul Brynner in Westworld and thinking that he was an Auton. Before I
because he was bald.
Because he's bald, and that's what Autons were. And I
remember being intrigued by that because that was like one of the things you'd see in Starlog magazine as a movie that you just missed because you were too young, and then the series came out and it was not that at all.
Did they? Well, it was a movie first, right? And
yes, in the 70s. Michael Crichton wrote it.
I watched a documentary recently about Michael Crichton in Jurassic Park. Yeah. And to mention that, I didn't know that at the time.
He was a guy who wrote novels to make extra cash while he was being a physician. Like, that's insane.
And now he's a climate change denier, so...
No, he's dead. He's long dead.
Michael Crichton?
Yeah, he died in like the 90s, earlier 2000s.
No, I think he's still alive, Michael Crichton.
I'm going to prove you
There we go. We're going to look it up. We're going to look it up.
It's a race, Chris.
Michael Crichton died November 4th, 2008.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, he died as a climate change denier then. There you go.
You're going to shoehorn that in, are you?
He was a climate change denier. He also is dead. Yeah.
Well, the climate got him.
There's a giant blowfish hanging from the ceiling there. I don't think we've mentioned that before.
It's like, these spears aren't weird enough. We need a blowfish as well.
What's happening there?
There we go. So, in 2004, Crichton published "State of Fear," a novel concerning eco-terrorists who attempt mass murder to support their views. The novel's central premise is that climate scientists exaggerate global warming.
Well, just to make it even more problematic, I can't remember the name of it, but that Disclosure, I think it was called, the Michael Douglas and Demi Moore sexual harassment Me Too thing, except she's the one sexually harassing him. Dun, dun, dun. So that'll give you a clue about his sexual politics. Also, there's a great virtual reality sequence because it was just at the tail end of We Need Virtual Reality where he's hacking. Michael Douglas, well-known hacker, is hacking files, and there's like digital versions of Demi Moore going across the screen, 2D ones. I can't believe it's not like younger people haven't discovered this and gone, look how stupid this is.
What year did this come out? But when was this?
Yeah, it's like 2002, somewhere around there.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's called Disclosure. It's now that I think about it, the whole, he's being harassed by a woman. Yeah, sure he is. Boy, you got Hollywood by the nuts on that one, didn't you, Michael Crichton?
That's troublesome.
He did write Jurassic Park though, so
is that
a draw? Sure. I'm not sure.
Well, apparently the Laura Dern's character in the book is not quite as fleshed out, but we certainly do see more flesh.
I read the book, but I don't remember that. But you're probably right. Also, I just got to say, after 4 episodes of this, damn, this is some good color work.
Yeah, right. So the colorization of this, none of it is done by computer. It's all done by chroma dots because some BBC engineer was lazy when they were making copies of this, and all the color information basically. I think they also married
black and white copies.
Black and white copies, and also they married it with a off-air copy from America. I think it's 72. I think this is the same one. I know they did that for some of them. I can't remember if it was for Terror of the Autons. Wasn't Terror of the Autons the first one they colorized, like back in 92?
Maybe. But it just looks really cool. Like, it's amazing that they're able to do this.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I thought Planet of the Daleks was the first chroma dot one.
No, I don't remember. Because I said this or the Demons or both. It might be this and the Demons.
I remember the Demons
done in 92 or 93 for like their UK Gold repeat, which is stunning to think about, given how much I watched this in black and white in the late 80s into the early 90s. And it's been colorized for longer than it was ever in black and white. But I still see it in my head as black and white, you know?
And whereas people who watched it originally, like in the as little kids in the 70s, saw it in color, so they remember it like this.
But I mean, that also goes for Mind of Evil. That goes for, whatever.
Ambassadors of Death.
Ambassadors, totally. Yeah. Silurians, even.
Definitely Silurians. Yeah. Yeah, kids, just so you know, we grew up watching Silurians, Ambassadors of Death, Terror of the Autons, Mind of Evil, The Demons, all in black and white. Those are the 5 Pertwee black and whites that we had. And we never had episode 3 of Planet of the Daleks or episode 1 of Invasion of the Dinosaurs as growing up.
Also because this is color TV, which is a novelty at the time. Everything's colorful as hell, which it isn't in later, years when it's just not a novelty anymore.
They've toned it down.
People are paying for that yellow on that Auton jumpsuit.
When it probably looked like hell too. There's probably like noir patterns on it.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you that the restoration team website was still functional, but it isn't, sadly, and they would have all the information I want.
Well, for all their technical wizardry, the website wasn't one of the technical wizardries.
No, and it hasn't been updated in years, so I
soon remember Steve Roberts not giving that much priority.
Not anymore. It used to be quite the hive of not scum and villainy, of very much interesting stuff.
Specialist talking specialist language.
Yeah. But, they grew tired of it. Once the DVD range kind of wrapped up, they kind of stopped doing it. So
yeah.
And now Steve Roberts doesn't even come to Gallifrey 1, so...
That's unfortunate.
No, but his wife does.
Hates Doctor Who.
Does he hate Doctor Who?
Just hates it.
I'm sure he does.
He's not a fan of the Whittaker era.
No.
Whittaker era.
Mm. So there you go.
He's still a nice guy.
And he's personally holding back the collection, Blu-ray collections, from being released.
Specifically for you two.
Yeah, even though he's making them, he's also preventing their release to anger fans all over the world.
I mean,
it's like Kane and the ice statue.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going to make the statue and then I'm going to kill you.
The mere fact it exists is enough.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say like Kane and the Kung Fu.
No, that's also racist.
No, that's maybe it's a Quentin Tarantino reference. So maybe it is racist.
It's racist then. I assume it probably references Keith or John Carradine show from the 1970s.
David
Carradine, one of the Carradines.
Talking about
from like autoerotic.
So we don't talk about how Carradines have died. All right, that's a no-go.
We all know how Carradines.
That's a no-go territory on this one. I'm just still transfixed by the blowfish hanging from the ceiling in this unit HQ.
I love the yellow door. Like, why isn't this door? Darling, this door has to be a pop. It has to have color. Why isn't it yellow? Why is this all of a sudden CSO? Or is it just soft focus?
No, it's just soft focus.
Soft focus.
This is just a normal backdrop in behind the window there.
I mean, that's a Hobbit door. Like, what the hell?
It's odd. This secret HQ, and they're like basically in. Sorry, I'm distracted by the extra in the background because I recognize him from the Caves of Angersani. I recognize his nose. He's from the Caves of Angersani. I think he was in it. Why are Unit HQ? Why are they all in old houses and castles and stuff? And they should be like in futuristic.
Because England has nothing but
tower.
Old houses and castles.
So.
I also like how the brig is talking into his analog watch.
Yeah, yeah. It's futuristic.
Calling Dick Tracy. Calling Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy. Is that a reference to the 1990 Warren Beatty film, Warren?
Oh, and the 30s comics, yeah. But
oh, okay.
It's a fine film. It really is.
I know you're who did De Palma direct that? Who did that?
No. Warren Beatty himself did.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did.
Oh. Well, that explains it.
It's not so much a movie as it is a collection of fun stuff, but it is very fun.
And hey, you want colorful? That is colorful.
Yeah. Brilliantly so.
Yellow coat and all that. I love the color yellow. I love the way
even beyond Dick Tracy.
It's all
himself.
primary colors. That's the great thing about it.
I love the way that Delgado holds his tissue compression eliminator, which is
like
not named at this yet, but he's so suave even doing this.
Yeah.
Oh man, Delgado, man. Look at that. Like
he is suave as hell. I can see why Ainley took some stick for his portrayal, given that this is the only thing in that skeleton you had to work off of.
Yeah.
Skeleton Master's still one of the best.
This is the first on-screen meeting of the Doctor and the Master. How about that?
Well, gee, it's the first Master story overall, so
that's true.
It was going to come before this.
No, but it took until episode 4 to for it to happen.
Look at these small beginnings, and then he paradox machined the Earth and had taco flames who were the last humans all over the place.
Yeah,
taco
poking
flames.
People with their stick thingies.
Taco flames.
Taco flames.
Taco flames.
That's
delicious. That's when you crack them open and eat them.
From Taco Bell, taco flames. Run for the border.
They actually double as faces and microwaves. You just shove your taco in there.
The future of humanity is in a taco.
And they're like, no, this is so undignified as opposed to being in a ball that kills things.
Yeah. Don't make me a taco bell, please. I know what happens.
I'll be a taco flame, but not a taco flame. No,
Not
sir.
a taco flame.
I have some pride.
Give me your finest food stuffed with your second finest food.
Delicious taco flame. Isn't that like a turducken, really?
Kind of is.
Taco ducking?
Yeah.
Taco ducking.
And it's a war crime, I'm pretty sure, to eat that. Cannibalism, too. So, kind of?
As a vegetarian, Stephen would steer quite clear of a turducken. Three cans of bird meat.
Well, the great thing is you can take the ball, split it in half, and you can sell 2 taco flame bowls.
That's true. You could share it with a friend. Is he talking into that watch, or is he just...
Or is he just synchronizing it or whatever?
Yeah. The Autons talk here. They didn't talk in the first one. They were creepier. I think the Autons are better looking in Spearhead from Space. So when I was a kid, this episode disappointed me because I thought that the all-film nature of it was pretty cool, and the music was really cool, and the Autons were really cool. And they changed all 3 of them for this, and therefore I didn't like it as much.
So how did the Rose and
bear in
Big
mind,
Bang, etc., Pandorica ones rank?
No, bear in mind, Spearhead had Channing as the mouthpiece. That the Master kind of does that role here, but not completely.
Not really. Yeah.
Well, and Chris, the key to Spirits from Space is it's all on film, so that instantly vaults it in Steven's estimation.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I love if Terror of the Autons was all on videotape, I would like it better. But
I'm maybe in the minority, but I love it when they mix between videotape and film. I just love it.
I always found it so jarring watching Doctor Who as a kid when they did that.
This episode particularly, it feels a little jarring because they're supposed to be outside, but they're clearly not.
They're clearly not, and yeah.
Yeah,
as opposed to other episodes of Doctor Who, the exact same thing happens.
Whenever it was, I could always appreciate it when they were indoors. It was video, and they were outdoors. It was film, and I could appreciate that. But then whenever they tried to do this, it just, I mean, honestly, it's what made me bounce off Star Trek, the original series of Star Trek when I was a kid. I don't know why it was. I don't know why I couldn't. Though. Well, it's all film, but it's on. You could tell it's still on a set. Like whenever they were trying to replicate outdoor inside, whether it was on videotape or film, I was annoyed. And whenever Doctor Who has done that, especially in the Pertwee era, I just like, this is fake, and I do not like this episode. Like I remember like the Mutants. There was a scene set in the studio. Planet of the Giants, same thing. And I just thought it just bounced off. Planet of the Giants, Planet of the Daleks. I didn't like it. I thought it looked dumb, even as a kid.
I love when TOS is on a fake planet because they've got that in the background for every one of them. I love it.
Like so the cyclorama is painted blue
it's great.
or red.
It's so good.
I do not like it. Well, and even in the early TNG, they would do that. I was going
to say, what about the cave that's in DS9? All of them. Every single one of them. In fact, it's probably the new ones.
Yeah. I watched Undiscovered Country a couple nights ago, and when they're in Ruapenta in the cave, and I thought, oh, there's that cave again. And no, actually, that's an actual location, that cave. I didn't know that. I just assumed that they're on standard Paramount cave set that they used for Voyager and DS9 and everything else. No, actual cave.
Is so good. It's just so good.
It's so good. I weep openly at the end, even though this time around I thought, I'm just going to have it on there in the background. Just like what? It's 20 minutes left of the film. Why am I crying already?
So I had to go I have to go every year to a memorial, the Bentall 4 Memorial, which is quite sad because these guys died 43 years ago, falling off the Bentall building because of bad safety standards. Anyway, the whole time I'm sitting there going, I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch into Star Trek 2 so I can get all these bad emotions out. And that's exactly what I did, and it worked.
Wow. End of Star Trek 6. Who is it? Who are the guys that directed the Avengers Endgame film? Who did that?
The
Russos. Big fans of Star Trek 6. The reason they put in with all the main cast of the Avengers doing their autographs is because they love Star Trek 6.
They said it in the commentary. They're like, people asked us. Yeah, of course we did.
Yeah. I saw it at the time thinking, I wonder if they actually did that, and they did. So good job, them.
It's better in Star Trek 6.
It is way better in Star Trek. Everything's better in Star Trek 6. This scene right here is better in Star Trek 6. Where they drag John Pertwee up and like, I've dared you to sit close to Katie Manning here in certain spots here.
Yeah.
Really careful dragging me.
So I'm not slagging off
cheeky.
a little bit worrisome there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little Crichton-y.
Crichton-y.
Little disclosure-ish.
Oh, I thought you meant, for some reason you said Crichton. I thought, what did the robot butler from Red Dwarf have to do with this?
No. I meant Michael Crichton.
Yeah, I didn't.
So now having a Western-themed sex robot place makes a lot more sense now knowing that about Michael Crichton. I'm not sure how sexy the robots were in the original movie. In the TV show, they sure are. But
well, Yul Brynner. It depends on what you think of Yul Brynner.
That's true.
He had a following of devotees.
Yeah, sure did. Oh boy, this is Warren trying to drive in Grand Theft Auto right here.
I don't even try to drive. I just smash into things in Grand Theft Auto. That's totally me in Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. Oh,
I know what I can get away with.
Yeah.
It's like when you're on a mission, you can shoot people with impunity, and I do.
No wanted level for you.
No, if you have to return somebody to up the popularity of the nightclub, you can get out and just take out people. And, some people need it.
It's pretty.
That guy on the phone at the casino, he's always going to die. I don't care.
Some people need it.
In that game, everybody's got their special people they kill, and those are my guys. The guys at the pagoda and the guy at the casino on a phone, who's always saying something douchey anyway. So I mean,
yeah, that one Auton is not buttoned up his coat, and it's here we go. Blam!
What an uncomfortable like just having to wear the stupid thing on your head would just suck.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, stunt work. Oh man, the stunt work in 70s Doctor Who is amazing. Legitimately amazing.
Shout out to the Red Smoke, which is in all BBC 70. Like it's
poisonous. Poisonous.
I know, but I loved how it looked. Like it was in Three Doctors. It's in a ton of Monty Python stuff.
Speaking of stunts, I think this is Roy Scammell again. This isn't Roy Scammell. Maybe it is.
That look of anger.
Look at that. That's a real guy. That's a real guy. Wow. Golly. Man, you don't see stunts like that on TV anymore.
Yeah,
that's
for good reason.
That's BBC TV, and they're doing stunts like this. Insane. And impressive.
And then they have rickety things that shake when he turns the dials.
Yep.
Don't forget Patrick Troughton jumping and with explosions right on his back, literally on his backside.
Oh, yep. Oh, I remember thinking that was.
How tall was Delgado? Because he looks a lot shorter than these guys, but these might just be tall dude.
Well, 5'7".
Yeah.
Oh, so a strapping man, you say?
Pert was what, 6'1", 6'2", I think. I don't know how tall Courtney was. Probably however tall. This is slightly less than. Oh, CSO. There we go.
5'7.5" says IMDb.
What a guy! That's the perfect height, I'd say.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh, nice. Everybody has to do this operatic backflip.
Oh, man, I love it. Yeah, this is so
pretty
cool.
great.
This is so great. And this is what I love, is that, in The Giggle, two of those little squatties in unit control, get killed. And the doctor immediately goes to Kate, they're dead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Scores of unit soldiers are getting slaughtered outside right now. No one bats an eye.
Just think of the political climate at the time. I mean, Vietnam is God knows how many other terrible places. Ireland is not terribly safe.
That's true. Oh yeah, geez. We're a year away from Bloody Sunday at this point.
Oh, this is sweet. Look at this. I don't know how they made that, but I love it.
I know. Couldn't do that on a computer.
Roger Caesar Marius Bernard de Delgado Torres Castillo Roberto.
Sweet. Damn straight.
And apparently he was a lovely human being.
He really was. Yep. And he got cast as a lot of Mediterranean and Arabic people back, villains in those days. And they said, you know what? We're going to cast you as a white villain. Oh, well,
it's almost right. He died in Turkey.
Sadly. It was for a French TV show. A lot of people thought it was a movie. It's a French TV show. And somebody found it on YouTube like 3 or 4 years ago. Because he filmed most of his appearance in it before he died. And it did eventually get broadcast in France.
For all my annoyance with YouTube, I do love YouTube archaeology.
Archaeology, it's amazing.
Media archaeology, I should say.
Yeah. So this little ploy basically happens at the end of Sea Devils too, doesn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So maybe that's Terrence Dix probably thinking back. Hey, remember when we did this exact thing? where he somehow has like he must just have masks of himself like just in a bag, like in a duffel bag.
Well, don't forget nobody had a videotape recorder except Patrick Troughton at the time. So
true. And Bob Monkhouse. That's it for him. Roger
We'll
Delgado.
never ever see the master again.
No, he's done.
It's kind of sad that way.
I know. Yep. Oh, well, that's the end of him. You're right, Yates.
welcome to the sisterhood.
Yep. Dust our hands off to what?
It's Davros all along.
I know. Or the reporter from the Ambassadors of Death all along.
Well, the report from the Ambassador's death was Davros.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh-oh. Cheeky twist.
Watch out, Terry Walsh. There you go.
The key is to not run into the bus.
Yeah. Just like don't run into the bus. That's all right. He'll be back every single week.
Forever.
Yeah.
I wonder if Ten thought of that as he cradled him in his arms. You know, every single week with this jerk, and now I really miss him.
I wonder if it was announced back then. You know, say, hey, this new villain, the Mask. Because, you know, they bigged up his first appearance. Yeah, they say, oh, he's going to be everywhere.
I mean, they were less worried about spoilers and whatnot back in the day.
Yeah,
so,
where would you find it out?
You know, like him showing up halfway through Colony in Space probably wouldn't be the giveaway that would be avoided these days.
Mm-hmm. That's true, yeah. All the bulletin boards, literal bulletin boards of hashtag DWSR that they would put on local church bulletin boards. Here's where shooting is today. Come and check it out.
I would just like to praise the zoom out in Colony in Space. It's beautiful. It's a thing of absolute beauty.
The zoom out in Colony in Space. Which one
where he shows up and, or may I think of the Daleks one? I can't remember. There's one where he shows up and there's a glorious zoom out of him and the Daleks are there.
Oh, I know. That was obviously Frontier in Space.
Frontier. I always mix them up.
Just like I mix up Terror of the Autons and Terror of the Zygons, apparently. You know, Action by Havoc, Ken True.
But not Terry Walsh.
Terry Walsh, Jan Harrison, wife. Oh, it's Eric Monk. Naming names at this point, but Ian Watson. That's a name I haven't quite recognized from being the designer of Doctor Who, but well, that was fun. That was fun watching some 1970s Doctor Who. Let's see what is next on our commentary cavalcade when Chris opens and deploys the randomizer. Chris, you got it open for us right now?
It's ready to go. We have 90 selections remaining.
Oh, wow.
Stories for years. Stories for years. Yep. All right.
Marge becomes a robot.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will. Chris, begin the spinning of it now.
I'll just close my eyes for it.
Oh, see, we're doing this in video now the first time, and I've never seen. I didn't realize that Chris actually closed his eyes.
I actually do close my eyes.
I can't hear the music, unfortunately.
Well, we will in post.
We'll overlay that.
We're pretending, you know, like we're like in dancing scenes in clubs in TV shows. They're all dancing to nothing. You know, it's all overdubbed on later after the fact. So in the cantina scene, you can't hear them. They're not playing any music in that.
There's no actual jizz in the cantina.
No.
Well, we don't know what goes on in the bathroom. We have no idea.
Han Solo hadn't showed up yet. Anyway, on that note, stop.
Planet of the Spiders. We're staying with Pertwee.
Oh, wow. How long is that? That's like 7 or 8 episodes.
6 episodes.
15 episodes.
6 glorious episodes with Jenny Laird.
Oh, man. What a wildly uneven and... All right. There are parts of Planet of the Spiders I genuinely love and parts of it I do not.
I'm with you on that.
The parallels between it and the End of Time are many.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a lot slower than the End of Time.
Wow.
The End of Time just feels longer.
That's okay. All right. Well,
but
that's
what
fun.
do we get? We get some Cyril Shaps in there.
Cyril Shaps, more Barry Letts directed stuff. Closure on Mike Yates.
Some yellow face, some irritating yelling spiders.
Don't forget the yellow face. Always remember the yellow face. And also John Pertwee regenerates at the end of it. So there we are.
Christopher Burgess.
Into the goat
and
himself,
Christopher Burgess
Tom Baker.
as well. Look at that. Christopher Burgess.
And Tommy.
And Tommy.
Wee little Tommy.
Wee little Tommy.
When I read the book, because I read the book years before I ever saw the show, I did not expect Tommy to be like this 30-year-old dude.
Yeah,
he was 40. I think he was 40 at the
show.
time, wasn't he? Or close.
Yeah, and speaking of portrayals that didn't Didn't quite age as well. I don't think we do that anymore. How we did Tommy back in 1974. But anyway, we have all this to look forward to and more in the next Classic Series commentary on Ready for Skaro, Planet of the Spiders. All right, so until next time, I'm Stephen in Edmonton.
Morning, Vancouver.
And Chris in Edmonton.
So long for now.